Free Willy marketing tips, and we have influencer marketing at its best, at its core. These two dudes know how to market, and they're both big influencers. What does that create? A sloppy mess of awesomeness coming your way tonight. So first off, we're going to have the 5-peat champion come to the stage, hardcore, and hit a home run right out of the park. He's going to come out. Aaron Ellis with us tonight. And he's going to talk about how to become a compelling force that inspires action. Aaron, super excited to have you here, man. How's it going?
It's going really good. So, am I going first tonight? For some reason, I thought I always went second, but that's fine.
We can switch it up if you want to. You're the boss.
Hold on. I'm just chewing them.
Let's go to the chat roll. Let's have a vote. Do you want Aaron to go first or last? Right, first or last in the chat? And everybody's going to say, oh, there's a first from Mary. Okay. Ooh. Last, first.
First.
Okay. Ooh.
Last. Uh-oh.
Need a couple more votes. First. Somebody count them up.
First. It's almost like a split decision. It's kind of crazy.
All right, hey, you guys should Rochambeau.
8 first. 1, 2. Oh, shoot it. Moved on me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 8 first and 4 last.
Whoa!
I guess I'm going first.
I'm going to have a little bit more time to hold that visualization of beating Aaron tonight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Which honestly means he's going to mute himself so he's not in tears listening to what
I am so excited. All right, well, anyways, guys, back to the here we go. So, so excited. We are going to have, by your vote, which is what's up, Aaron Ellis is out tonight to talk about how to become a compelling force that inspires action. Aaron, again, dude, super excited to hear what you got to say. Get your pads out. It's time to take notes.
All right, guys, let's get this going. I'm going to get the chat open here just in case. Oh, somebody just said take notes, Shane. All right. Shane's going to be crafting his presentation. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and share a slide with you guys. Let me know when you can see that slide. Everybody see that thumbs up on the panel?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right, so let's dive right into this tonight, guys. So we're going to talk about influential marketing tonight, how to become a compelling force that inspires action. Not just a megaphone, but a magnet, someone who actually has people coming to you. Shane and I have what's called the quality problem when it comes to marketing. I've actually haven't been doing a lot of marketing recently. I've been helping the team. Because when we do, we get the quality problem of how do we handle all the people coming in. So it's a good thing, but it comes from exactly what we're both going to talk about tonight. I think what's interesting is that we're not only going head-to-head, but we're business partners, and we are coaches and mentors in the same program. So it's going to be interesting to hear our different takes separate, because usually we're flowing together through this stuff. So let's see how this goes tonight. All right, so overview for the night. We're going to talk about positioning yourself as influential, all right? We're going to talk about advertising to be influential. We're going to talk about fielding questions in an influential way and handling objections in an influential way, okay? I wanted to cover the whole spectrum tonight because honestly, all of this is marketing, guys. All of this has to do with how to be influential and how to, because it's not just prospecting, it's not just the advertising, it's not just working with the leads, it's working with their questions, it's working with their objections, it's every single facet of, from the beginning, the introduction to getting them on your team or as a customer and continuing to cultivate that relationship. So let's dive right in. Starting out with a foundational truth. Now, those of you who have heard me speak and teach before, you understand this, yet I want to do it again for those who haven't and for those of you who have, because this is essential and this is foundational to everything you do, and especially tonight when it comes to how to be an influential marketer. I'm going to talk about this and reference this a lot tonight, okay? So I want you guys to write this down. It's not what you do, it's how you show up and flow through what you do. So what I mean by that is most people think that if they find the right what, okay, meaning if they find the right business opportunity, the right training program, the right system to plug into, the right partner in life, for a relationship, the right gym, the right nutrition program, they think that if they find that, then they're going to have success, okay? But ultimately, that's not true. It has to do with how you show up and flow through those things, okay? And that has to do with finding your personal responsibility in everything you do. Okay? It's not about the program. It's not about the person. It's not about the town you live in. It's not about your job. It's not about the gym you go to. It's not about your ads as much as it is how you are showing up to your advertising, showing up to your marketing, how you're flowing through it. That is absolutely essential for your success. Okay? We're going to dive into that in those 4 different areas today. So let's start with positioning yourself as influential. So trust and rapport are essential. People want to know who's behind the advertising. Okay, they want to know these days. It's kind of, hold on, I got a thing pop up there. Okay, so it's kind of a thing of the past. Not even kind of, it is a thing of the past that you can just come out as a business name. Like, you know, you can say you're XYZ business. You know, people want to know who is behind it. They want to know who they're working with and if they can trust you. Now, when it comes to online marketing, of course, that needs to be done. You know, it's done in a little different way, and it's done with the fact that people stalk you, okay? They're going to stalk you on your social media. They're going to see who you are. They're going to go to your Facebook page. They're going to Google you. They're going to basically look at your Instagram if you have one. They're going to go to your YouTube. They want to know who's behind the ad, okay? So you want to be positioned to be able to create that trust and rapport with these people, okay? Because a lot of times, you know, maybe 1% of people buy on the first impression. It takes about 5 to 12 follow-ups to get 80% of people to buy. Okay, and that's just statistical numbers. Sometimes it takes longer. I never close the door on people. Nobody ever leaves my prospect list. Nobody ever leaves my lead list, period, no matter what they've said to me. Okay, so you want to position yourself for those people who see your advertising to figure out who you are. You know, a lot of times we're advertising on Facebook, so of course they're going to try to figure out who is it on Facebook that has this ad. So there's a couple things you want to know. Authenticity is essential, guys. People buy from people they know, like, and trust. That is why there's a return on authenticity. Okay? It's being real. It's basically being yourself. It's being congruent, being authentic. It's, like I said, it's being yourself. Now, a lot of people struggle with who they are. A lot of people don't feel good about themselves, okay? So they try to put on a persona of someone they're not. Now, I want to talk about motivational marketing and inspirational marketing. Inspirational marketing comes when you are being authentic, when you're coming from the inside out, when you're sharing who you are. Some examples, like, you know, on your Facebook page, if you're doing Facebook advertising, you want to share about who you are. What do you enjoy? Share about your family. Share about your pets. Share quotes that inspire you. Aha moments you've had. How you're dealing with things. Just offer value, guys. Offer inspiration. Ask some questions. See who you can relate to out there. And basically be yourself. Don't try to be fake. So we see fake marketing all over the time, all over the place right now, guys. We see people, you know, seeing a car in a parking lot and then button up against that car and having their friend take a picture and then they put that in their ads. Guys, you may motivate some people to basically, you know, take the hook, take the bait, but ultimately it's not going to create loyalty for you. The key is creating loyalty. Everybody I ever talk to wants time freedom. They want financial freedom, but because they want time freedom. They want what money can buy, okay? In order to get what money can buy, including that time freedom we're talking about, it takes loyalty, not just sales. Loyalty comes from you being authentic, you being loyal to yourself, okay? And sharing yourself. What does congruent mean? Congruent means what you say, what you think, and what you do are all in alignment. What you say, what you think, and what you do are saying the exact same message. Okay, so that means if you're thinking one thing and you're saying something else, you're incongruent. You're out of integrity. Your energy is not aligned. Okay, therefore, what happens is when you're not in integrity, when you're not congruent, when you're not being authentic, when you're not being real, okay, you're going to get a few different things with people. Whether it's in your advertising or in questions, objections, or whatnot, you're going to get people who just basically aren't interested. They're not going to know why. They're not going to go, well, this person's not being authentic, so I don't want to go with it. There's an energetic, basically, disconnect, and they're not going to want to work with you, okay? Most people, okay? Or they're going to attack you. Friends and family are good for that one. They're going to attack you for what you're doing, or they're going to defend their position, okay? Okay, now, when you're being authentic and you're congruent, you are reaching people here in the heart rather than the head. and it opens them up. They start to relate to you and say, whether it's in your advertising or it's on the social media that I'm talking about, when people come to look for you and stalk you, they're going to go, oh, I like dogs. Oh, I like that. Oh, that is a great quote. So you're going to create that rapport and that trust, okay? The key thing is, too, it's got to be consistent. I have people who have joined Shane and I recently, actually, who have followed me for a decade. Okay, who have followed me for a year, for 2 years, for 3 years, who've said that just because I was consistent, they decided to hop on board. Now, did I ever see them like or comment on any of my posts? No. So don't get hung up on that either. People are watching you, and I guarantee you that more people are watching than you know. Okay, I see my posts pop up all the time on Facebook, my memories, and I see quotes that I'm saying now and still posting now. It's because I've been consistent, guys, that I've become influential and I've been able to create what I've created because I'm authentic, okay? Because I'm vulnerable, because I share. I'm going to get into that stuff too as we go into a couple more slides here. Okay, so advertising to be influential. This is an essential factor in choosing your audience. I know we all go through this process at some point to get our advertising ready, figure out our avatar, figure out what our audience is going to be, who are we going to speak to, okay? I want you guys to not as much look up here as look down here, okay? Remember, it's not what we do, it's how we show up and flow through what we do that matters. That's what's going to influence people. You want to help them understand in that frontal part of their brain where their languaging is, but you want to hit that limbic brain too, where they feel what you're saying, okay? That comes from something totally different than what's their age, what's their demographic, it comes from totally different things than the actual intellectual things that most people look at. So I was on a call with one of our team members this past week, and I want to give you an example of what her struggle was. She came to me struggling. She was going through the modules, trying to figure out who she was going to influence, who she was going to market to, who should be her audience, right? So she gave me 3 options. She had looked into this. Number 1 was other sales professionals who wanted to smooth out their income. That was one. It's great. There's a lot of people out there. She's a salesperson herself. She wants to smooth out her income. Okay, so there was some congruency there, right? Another one, people who were a little bit older and struggle with technology. So she's a little bit older. She feels that she's a bridge to technology. So there was truth in those guys. There was, she's the salesperson. She can relate to them. People who are a little bit older. She's a little bit older, but she's really good with technology. The other one, which is more aligned with who she is people who are socially conscious, spiritually engaged, the change makers that have maybe lost sight of their dreams. Okay? Now, I put a space here because this is what she told me when I dug deeper about 1 and 2. She says, not really the type of person I want to work with, but it sounds like a good idea. Guys, that's a completely intellectual reason to do something, which maybe get some motivational advertising out of you, but it's not going to create anything long-term. It's not going to fulfill you. It's not going to actually be that thing that's going to make you influential and influence these people, okay? So the key to this, though, is that wasn't her real issue. It wasn't about what type of person to market to. She went through ages. She knew her age demographic. That's great. You want to know that kind of stuff. She knew that she spoke to women who were a little bit older, but the male demographic was a little bit younger. That's great to know that, She knew what she knew, right? She was a salesperson. She knew that she was a change maker, but she was confused. She didn't know how to do it. It wasn't the type of person. It was how she was showing up and flowing through each one of these options. Okay? That was her issue. That was the biggest issue. Now, here's what we did, and she had a big aha moment. Okay? Remember how I talked about authenticity, vulnerability, and congruency? Here's what I told her to do, and you guys might not have thought about this. I started asking her, what's her biggest struggle in life? And she says she feels like she doesn't have enough time. She feels like she's spread too thin. She lives away from her spouse the majority of the week. She works in one area and she lives in another area. So she travels for the week or for 4 days out of the week or whatnot and lives in one area and she's away from her family. Okay? So she wants to figure out for herself how she can change that, how she can actually be with her wife, how she can actually not have to live 2 places, right? How she can actually have more time because she's spread so thin. That was her biggest struggle. Here's what I told her. Choose the area of your life you want to change the most and speak to those who want to change the same thing. Okay? The fact of the matter is, guys, is wherever you are struggling and you are challenged and you are working through, that will be more powerful and more influential than areas of your life that you've already worked through and achieved that peace, ease, and freedom you're seeking. Let me say that again. The areas of your life that you are struggling the most, okay, are going to make you more influential when you become authentic, when you become vulnerable, and when you're congruent, when you share vulnerable with people from the area that you are struggling in. You are going to basically have flocks of people come to you because they're going to be able to relate. More so than when you advertise from a space of somewhere you've already succeeded. Okay? That's the key thing between influential, inspirational marketing in advertising and motivational marketing. Yeah, you could go get a picture in front of a Lamborghini if you want. You're going to motivate some people, but you're not going to create loyalty. Okay? And think about the people you want to work with. Okay, who do you want to work with? Do you want to work with people who are authentic, who are honest, who are open about their struggles? Or do you want to work with people who are inauthentic, trying to put on a front, trying to be somebody they're not, and trying to motivate people just to make a buck? Who do you want to work with? Be that person in your advertising, guys. Okay? Again, figure out where you are struggling the most. That's about flow. Okay? You can take that flow and flow through any kind of advertising. Like for her, she could do an advertisement focused towards people who are salespeople who want to smooth out their income. Like she said, that's one of her areas. But remember, it didn't sound good to her because of how she was showing up to it. But if she shows up as herself and she talks to those people as a salesperson who wants to smooth out her income because she's away from her family 4 days out of the week and she has 2 separate homes and has no time, she's going to relate to not only those people, but anybody else watching. Okay? Same thing goes for the change makers. Same thing goes for any topic or any demographic, any age group she chooses to advertise to. It has to do with how you show up and flow through it. That is what is going to get you the influence. That is what's going to get people just to flock to you. That you're going to get that quality problem that I talked about with Shane and I, where we were like, okay, how do we handle all these people? Guys, trust me, you go from problems to quality problems. It's a great thing, okay? It's constantly challenging you. Now, I want to hammer this home. Be authentic, guys. If you're struggling with who to advertise to the people who are struggling with the same thing that you're struggling in right now. Why? Because when you're vulnerable and you share about it, you're going to be truly being vulnerable. You're going to be truly sharing in your pain, and you're going to be truly living congruently your solution that you're offering to them, okay? Trust me on this. You guys are going to go so much further if you do it from that perspective. All right, so let's talk about fielding questions in an influential way. You want to be different, okay? Which one do you notice? All the birds or the single bird down there, okay? You want to be different. So what does that mean? Let's talk about some different angles on this. Okay, so habitual questions plus habitual answers equals opportunity lost. So what does that mean? Let me give you an example. So how much money have you made? I've made this much. Done. It's over. Habitual question, guys. People do not care how much money you've made. They want to hear how that money has helped you. They want to hear how you have peace, ease, and freedom in your life. They want to hear how you're facing your struggles and are getting through them. They want to hear how you have actually gotten a little more time. They want to hear how you've worked through your issues and you feel more confident in yourself, because that's where they're struggling. But habitually, conditioned way of thinking, people say, how much money have you made? And people say, I made this much. And your opportunity is completely lost. So, you want to interrupt people's patterns. You want to make them think. You want to answer in a way that ensures that they will remember you. Okay, so let's think about this in the essence of seeking to serve their highest good. Okay, because all this goes together. So let me give you an example of this. If you seek to serve their highest good, if you understand that you have patterns and your patterns just habitually happen, and a lot of times you're on that train down the track, derailed again, you're like, how did I get here again? You know what I mean? And you're becoming mindful, you're becoming present, you're becoming aware of where your personal responsibility lies and what you need to do to be more present in your moments, right? And you're interrupting your own patterns. So let's interrupt theirs. So, how much money do you make? Guys, it's always good to take a deep breath, and there's multiple ways you can answer that is going to make you different. One, if you're doing it in a messenger type place, when people come and ask that, it's a common question in the industry. Come up with a way that is going to make them think. So, for example, we have one team member who tried 8 to 10 different businesses in a 10-year period. Okay, let me tell you how she answers that question. How much money have you made? I've made more money. Actually, I made more money in the first week than I made in all 8 other businesses over 10 years combined. Is that a powerful answer? Is that going to make the person think? Is that going to continue the conversation? You bet it is. You can also look at statistics, guys. You can figure out, I know that somebody, think about a K8, it's about $340. The average American makes $200 something a day, I think, if I were to look it up specifically. How much money you made? I made almost twice as much as somebody makes in a day with one sale. Something like that. People are like, what? You did what? So you're interrupting them rather than just saying, how much money you made? I made this much. Opportunity lost. No. You're planting seeds. Even if you make them mad, even if they feel like you're not being direct with me, I'm asking you a direct question, give me a direct answer. Even if you make them mad, guess what you've done? You've planted a seed and you're going to be remembered. You're going to be the one they remember, whether they're pissed at you or they're happy with you, whether they're getting off the messenger with you or off a call with you going, how much does the average American make in a day? If they're Googling what you said, which means you're on their mind longer. It means you are influencing them. You're not just, how much money you make? I make this much. What's your business? It's this. Guys, take the time to answer differently. Now, another way you can do that is you can ask questions. I constantly say, when somebody asks me questions, I say, why do you ask? Or how much money do you make? Well, how much money do you need to make? Turn it back on them. You always want to answer and then turn it back on them. You want to make them think, okay? So keep that in mind. Seek to serve their highest good. Ultimately, people are going through life. Remember, they're going through life reactive. They're flowing this way from the outside in. They're judging everything as good, bad, right, and wrong. As soon as that bucket of bad and wrong gets heavy enough and they get overwhelmed and frustrated, they say, you know what? I'm fed up. I need to figure out what to do to finally get rid of that bucket and get to what I love and what I know is going to make me happy. Okay? And guess what they do? They do that over and over and over and over again. Guess what we've all done to a degree until we become aware of that? We do it over and over and over again. Okay? So you want to interrupt that pattern because that's going to best serve them. And it just so happens it's going to make you memorable and it's a master way to market. I don't do it for that reason. I do it to serve others' highest good. I do it to say, how can I leave this person a little happier, a little more free, with a little more peace than when they asked me the question in the first place? That's why I do it, with zero expectation or attachments. Okay? All right, so let's talk about how this applies to objections. Now, I'm going to talk about some foundations and framework around objections first, and then I'm going to give you some examples of this, guys, okay? So first of all, objections are opportunities for more conversation. That's all they are. I never get objections. I get opportunities for more conversation. That's all I get, right? I said earlier that I never take people off my prospect list. I never take people off my leads list. They never leave. I've had people who've been following me for over a decade who are just now signing up for stuff because that's how long it took them. I meet them where they're at, okay? So let's talk about this. What we do is an amazing opportunity for growth for both you and your customers and team. Now think about this, guys. Think about this, okay? Think about it with the product that we sell. We got a high ticket item, okay? That's a trigger for people. That's a trigger for people to talk about. You should hear Shane and I talk about it. Yeah, so the K8's $5,000. We literally take it, we throw it at somebody and knock them down, and then we get down on the ground with them, grab their hand, and we pick them back up. It's $5,000. No, we say it straight out, right? Okay, so there's that. And then there's the fact that, I don't have any money. So you're dealing with habitual answers again, habitual thoughts again, okay? They're not real. The fact of the matter is most people that I've talked to have the money. They just don't see it. They habitually say, I don't have the money. I've had people who are super wealthy millionaires say, I don't have the money. It's just because it's a neural pathway, guys. It's a habit, okay? Then the opportunity to talk about credit comes up and people's finances comes up, okay? Guys, what I'm saying is this, especially with Magic, from presentation to product on the counter there, you're talking about a massive path of personal development, both for you and for the person you're walking through the process. Any company, that's the truth. But when it comes to the company that we're working with here, it's even more powerful, okay? I personally, when people are like, well, when we're talking about different companies and stuff, and people are asking me about different companies, like, well, why would you choose an Agile company? Because they're like, why would you choose an Agile? It's such a high ticket item. Because it's such a high, beautiful opportunity for growth for everybody. I remember what I said in a previous slide. I want to leave people a little bit happier. I want to leave them with freedom, with peace and ease. It's not about the sale for me. If I can help them turn the word credit and debt into a not so dangerous, not so bad word, I feel like I've done my job, okay? So when I can share with them my knowledge and my experience as I walk through the process with zero expectation of a sale, I know that might make you guys, your head spin, but I have zero expectation or attachment of a sale. The only expectation or attachment you could say that I have, it's a mindful one, is that I want to serve them. Okay? So when you think about the opportunity we have, you think about what I just said, the conversations, the tough conversations sometimes that need to have, the basically the patterns that you have in your own mind. Like my parents told me, you don't talk to people about how much money they make. You don't talk about finance. It's rude. That's silly. You know what I mean? I want to serve this person, so that one goes out the window. Okay, it always comes down to this, guys. Do you have a choice to serve others, or do you have a choice to serve your comfort zone? I want you to remember that. Most people I talk to when I say, do you care about people? Yeah. Do you want to help them? You bet I do. Do you love your friends and family? Let's throw that in there because most people don't want to talk to them. Do you love them? You bet I do. Do you want to help them? Yeah, I do. Let's talk to them about an adjective. Oh, I don't know about that. Guys, think about it. That's called incongruent. That's when you say one thing and you're thinking another and your action's also different. Influential marketing. Being an influencer means you're congruent, meaning you're pushing your comfort zone, you're challenging yourself, okay? So think about that the next time you're thinking about, objections. They're not objections, they're opportunities for more conversation, okay? For you, internally, that conversation you need to have with yourself to sometimes get the courage and the confidence to continue the conversation with somebody else, all right? Also, guys, it's in the give and we receive. We enrich people's lives. We offer them better health. We offer a way out of financial hardship. There's so many things we offer. So when you're thinking about objections, guys, don't think of it as an objection. Think about it as an opportunity for more conversation. If you truly want to help them, if you truly have researched and understand, if you haven't, get into it, guys, the health benefits of Kangen water, of Wukong, of the entire product line, guys, it's ridiculous how beneficial this product is, okay? When you realize how much hardship people feel around finances, okay? Even yourself, when you realize that stuff, okay? Why would you ever not want to continue a conversation? You couldn't see an objection as anything other than an opportunity for conversation if you're coming from the space of service, if you're coming from the space of the giving and receive, if you're coming from the space that you know that you want to grow yourself and to expand outwardly, you need to expand inwardly. Okay? Think about that, guys. So, real quick, let's talk about some objections. I don't have enough money. I talked about that one already, guys. Most people do. That's it. What does the word enough money mean? Or somebody says, that's too much. Ask them, well, what's too much? Guys, everything is subjective. Okay? So too much to one person is not too much to another. Ask them the question. Be funny. Be open to whatever arises, say it. We had somebody in our team once had an objection, like, I don't have 2 nickels to rub together. Next time you go talk to them, have 2 nickels in your pocket, hand them the 2 nickels and say, done, what's next? Think about it, guys, seriously. Any objection you get is just an opportunity for more conversation. Yes, initially it will be conversation within, so you can figure out what to ask, and then conversation with that person. Again, but the reason you're doing this is to help, to serve, okay? To help everyone. That's who's included in everyone. You are. Okay? So if you think that, but I need to pay bills, I need to make money, you're part of everyone, guys. Bring it together. Congruency means coming together. I've been going for a while, so I'm just going to stop right there tonight. We'll end that for now.
That was still a ton. I'm taking notes over here. I mean, you hit it a couple times, but objections are opportunities for more conversation. I think, I haven't phrased it that way. I like that phrase, but how it goes through me is always be curious.
Yeah.
And you get to, just ask questions. You're connecting with somebody. You're having fun with someone. They're opening up more. They're sharing more of their story. And you get to meet cool people and learn new cool things. I learned a lot about sailing today because I was just asking some questions. And I know nothing about sailing, or I did. Now I know some more stuff. So it's fun. It's fun. So Aaron bringing the heat. I saw Shane sweating over there a couple times, and so I'm curious to hear what he comes up with. But I know that he's gonna bring some heat because I've seen him speak. Yeah, Shane. Yeah, Shane. I've been watching you. I've listened to you. He can bring some heat, and who knows? Things might get completely out of control because there is a guitar over his left shoulder. So I don't know. I don't know what could happen. What could finish? We're gonna see. But he is definitely quality, and he's gonna bring what he's got for you guys tonight. And Shane, I'll let you take it from here.
Awesome, guys. You know what? I just want to give my hat off to Aaron. You crushed it, bro. Those slides were just chiseled, and I'm excited about that. Okay, guys. So I'm going to talk about influencer marketing, and really, it's at the end of the day, just be yourself. How many times have we seen manurepreneurs out there who are just flashing the cash and all that kind of stuff? And I'm not trying to knock on people here. I just want to position to you guys that you are actually more than good enough. And the biggest obstacle in your life is you. Some people are like, oh man, life is so hard. Oh, the devil's got my number. Man, the devil ain't got a candle to how bad you can kick your own butt. You know, we hold ourselves back in so many ways. We limit ourselves. We create these false narratives about ourselves that are so untrue. And I want to help you guys understand and realize how big, how powerful, and how incredible you are, and that you are good enough, and that you don't need to be some special genie, some guru, some whatever. All you need to do is believe in yourself. And I didn't have the amount of time to work on slides that Aaron did, but I did put together some. So I'm going to share some slides with y'all. Let's just check it out here. Hang on a second. I just got to quickly put it to the right one. I hope this works. Let me know. All right.
Looks good.
Is this working?
Yep, looks great.
Okay, good. Influencer marketing. And of course, as it would always go, the Zoom bubble's in the way. Yeah, there you go. Okay, cool. Okay, be yourself. No, actually, just be yourself. So on the picture here is one of those nice little headshots on the left, and sometimes people like to put those. I am so not that dude. I'm the dude who likes to hang out after the gym with my buddies, drinking smoothies. Okay, I would actually rather show people that kind of stuff than any sort of false pretension. But let's just go and take a quick little look at all the different types of marketing. And I don't know if I should have ripped this off the internet, but I literally did this in about 15 minutes. But how many of you have seen advertising like this? Let's make handfuls of money. All you got to do is just join now. Money will pour out of the sky on you when you join our marketing thing here. Or what about this one? If you need more cash, our program gives you cash every day. Problem solved. All you got to do, join now. How about that stuff? Or what about this? Make cash daily. Look, I got like $20, y'all. Yeah, that's what's up. Let's do it. Come on. And what about this? Make lots of money. If you join my program, you'll make over $500 a day. Results are guaranteed. It's a done-for-you system. You don't even have to do anything. And if you don't join me, you will stay poor your whole life. Don't be stupid. Join now. I love this. And or since maneurism doesn't really work, you can just be you, right? How about this? Man in Chihuahua, travel the world while building a global business. Who's the real Shane Carlin? Well, this is my beautiful wife and my Chihuahua, and this is literally what we do, yo. We travel, we hang out, we have a good time, and tight little family unit right here. And the real vision, the real Shane, oops, my mouse isn't working, is a crazy marketer, genius guitar player who created an online business and a TV show so I could share my music with the world. And it's happening. So, you know, you never know what happens when you just be yourself because everyone else is taken. Quote from Oscar Wilde. You know, when you are yourself, you will stand out. Trust me. Everybody loves how weird you are. Okay? Maybe you don't, but everybody does. Trust me. All those little weird things about you are good. People appreciate. Sometimes the things that we think people might notice are things that they actually appreciate the most. It helps us stand out. It's a differentiating factor. Okay? When when Michelangelo was asked how he was able to carve the statue of David, he literally just said, I chipped away at everything that wasn't David. And some of you guys, when it comes to your marketing, this is what I really want to talk about. What are you actually being yourself in your marketing? Or are you being something that you're trying to pretend to be? You're thinking that, you're creating this false image about yourself, where you think you're supposed to be. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people who are standing beside someone's Lamborghini, and they're like taking a picture. Meanwhile, some of these guys, I know them, and they only got they can't even pay $500. They're just, it's so much easier to just show people where you're at and be where you're at and be totally open and honest and vulnerable and transparent and authentic. People would really love that. It was. Someone was asking me if they should buy a fake watch, and I was in my earlier years. I actually went on this test run. I bought a bunch of fake watches to see if it would help in my marketing. All it did was get me in weird conversations when people would ask to see my watch, and I wouldn't take it off because I was so embarrassed. I was like, they're gonna feel that it's actually as light as a feather. It's not a real anything, and it was just, ultimately, guys, if you're fake, you'll get found out. Time will either promote you or time will expose you. And if instead of trying to pretend to be where you're somewhere where you're not, why don't you just tell people where you are? And if you're not at the level of success in your business, your marketing, and all that kind of stuff, people ask how much money have you made? It's okay to be honest with people. You don't have to tell them exact dollar amounts and stuff like that, but let's just say this. There's an example, okay? If you are talking to some people, let's just say you're in a team, and by the way, guys, you're all in a team. We're all in a team. And you're in a team of skiing, okay, skiers. And there's Olympic skiers, world champions in the team, and they're teaching and coaching everybody, okay? And it's like it's your first season on the slopes, okay? It's your first season on the slopes, and you're going out and we're trying to get more people to join this club, this ski club, and your first time, basically, you're sliding down your butt on the bunny hill the whole time. It looks terrible. It's just a mess. That doesn't mean skiing isn't for you. It just means that time you were sliding down your butt or your face on the bunny hill. It didn't look so great, but it doesn't have to, because that, hey, even the Olympic skiers did at some point, right? But then someone goes and says, or you're trying to invite some people to say, hey, I'm part of this amazing ski club. Have you ever wanted to ski? And this person says, yeah, I really did want to ski. What kind of results have you gotten in the ski club? You say, well, I just got started. I slid down the bunny hill half the time, but I am working and learning with people who are at the top of the game. Olympic ski athletes. These people are world class. They're world champions. They're the best of the best. And I'm learning from them. And you don't have to look at my results. You can look at their results and know that I'm on my process. Can you do better than me? And get real with people, because a lot of people, they subconsciously view their results of where they are. And somehow you project that onto other people in a way that you don't think that they might be able to do better than you can. And that's where a lot of people get tripped up subconsciously. And all you got to know is that it doesn't matter where you are. It matters who you are and that you're making moves to move forward. But people judge themselves as where they are as who they are. And that's not the right way to look at things. Where you are is not who you are. Okay? Who you are is the right person. Who you are is good enough. Who you are is in the right place at the right time. You're on your way. It doesn't matter where you are in that process. Because if you have that wall that you've been putting up, and some of y'all, that's really what's been holding you back, is you're not pointing, you're trying to point to you rather than point to the Olympic skiers, the Sean Malones, the Chris Baddens, the people who are crushing it, the Ashley Crooks out there, the people who are just demolishing this thing and just absolutely crushing it. You gotta point to the heroes and things, and you gotta honor yourself where you're at in your process. And when you're talking to your audience from that place, you're going to be way more vulnerable. Instead of trying to pretend it, fake it, be one of those entrepreneurs, right? Just be a real entrepreneur. Honor your process, know where you are, know where you're going, and tell people about that. You know, if you can talk about where you've been, where you are, and where you're going, you got them, guys, because that's where you're actually being honest, vulnerable, and authentic. And I'm going to give you guys some stuff here, but it's not working. Okay, so this picture has absolutely nothing to do with anything. I've started to throw a cute chihuahua picture on you, but as soon as you understand a little bit more about how to show up in your business, I also want to give you guys some tips. So, number one, ask yourself, who is your ideal client? So, for example, would any of you guys want a Sean Malone in your team? Yeah. Would you want an Aaron Ellis? Uh-huh. Would you want a Chris Badden? Uh-huh. So where are those people? How can you reach those people? How can you best serve those people? How do you go and hang out with those types of people? The people that are crushing it. All you want to do is find out who's your ideal client, right? What organizations are they part of? What activities are they doing? What agencies? What events? Where do you got to go hang out to reach people that are highly powerful influencers, okay? And what do you got to do to reach those people? When it comes to being yourself, you also, like when you're determining your audience, okay, you want to define your audience that you're trying to reach. You want to refine your audience and your messages, and you want to go and find them. So where are they? When it comes to marketing, make sure that you've got some powerful headlines, images, videos, stuff that get attention, keep attention, inspire people. Okay, you want to make sure that you're targeting in your messages. What are your pains? What are your needs? What are your desires? And oftentimes, if you can speak about that, then you can also speak about your audience, because most people's pains, needs, and desires are very similar around time and financial freedom, being trapped in a financial labyrinth, being overwhelmed with so much information, you know, trying to find a new business and feeling like you're left in the dust, joining programs that aren't serving people because, you know, a lot of people join program after program after program, and they're not getting the results they want because they join a program and they get kind of dropped out, left behind. What do we have here? Can you let people know how powerful this community is? Can you let people know the type of support that no one gets left behind, that there's always a hand out? Do people want to hear that kind of stuff? Absolutely. Okay? And in your marketing, you want to make sure it screams to your audience that this is for me. You want them to understand that what you've got, they want. Okay? I mean, there's just so much more I can go on that. Hang on a second. Let's see if I've got some more slides here. And another little thing we'll give you guys is, if you aren't standing out, you're invisible. When you are in sight, you are in mind. My office, by the way, is like 1 billion degrees right now. I'm going to open a window. Holy Toledo's.
All right, you were sweating because...
I was sweating because of the temperature. It's like a little oven in here. Should have had a window open, but so you guys got to be in sight, in mind, and if you sweat a whole lot, that's even better. And then you want to give them insight when you are in sight, and you will stay in their minds. Okay, what value are you offering your audience? You want to be such a value giver that you give so much value every time you're adding posts. You know, in your targeting, and then especially in your retargeting campaigns. Holy smokes, you need to make sure that you just keep giving so much value that eventually they're like, I just love this person. I want to join whatever they're doing. You're giving so much value because you know your audience. When you're targeting people, you've got to really define your audience, your avatar, and then you just keep speaking to those needs. Like, listen, I know that you've probably tried a whole bunch of different products, services, things like, you know, like ways to do business and coaching and mentoring programs out there. You probably tried a whole bunch, and maybe at a certain point you start to feel like you swung like a monkey from tree to tree to tree to tree, and you never really ate any fruit. Well, maybe the reason is because you didn't stick around long enough to eat any, or maybe you're just on the wrong trees. Well, hey, listen, I've got something that can help you. And so that's what you want to do, guys. Add value, add value, add value. And then you also want to do this. Be a helping hand. You know, when you set your goals outside of yourself, when you help others get what they want, eventually you will get everything that you need and want. So don't be afraid to show people that you are really out there giving a helping hand, and that you are someone who has a heart of charity, a heart of compassion and empathy, someone who actually is out there to be a difference maker in the world. Because if you're just another coach, if you're just another influencer, if you're just another, there's so many just anoters. You just need to be you. And that's why, again, keep refining and defining. I want to go back to that statue, the picture of David here, because there's a lot to talk about here. When it comes to getting to the truth, getting to being how honest and how vulnerable we are, it can oftentimes, we look at our life and we're in situations that don't make us comfortable. And sometimes pride can come up. That makes us feel ashamed or recluse, or we don't want to share or be open about things, because in our heads there's the story of the mocker and the scoffer. There's the story of the person who wants to judge us. There's the story of the they. And I want you to understand that, to think about the world in terms of whether you're worried about people, how their opinions are, it's almost narcissistic in a sense. And I don't mean that to be offensive. I just mean that it's bigger than you. What you're doing is bigger than you. Your mess is actually a message. Your thing that you're holding within. So the faster you can level up and connect heart to head and listen to how's it going? You're like, oh, I'm okay. How are you? Good. That's so lame. Someone says, how you doing? Work. I just moved to a new city and things have been a little bit on the rough spot for me. And that's a way better conversation. I mean, it sucks that he's going through, but then most people going through something like that would have said, oh man, I'm not doing so great, or I'm not doing this. But he was open, he was honest. Why? Because I started off being open and honest about what I'm going through in my life. I say, well, my wife just came in and you're honest about things that are happening in your life. They'll be open and honest about theirs. And that's where you connect with it. Am I being real right now? Am I actually being real? Or am I just being, you guys, you've had some heartaches, you've had some heartbreaks, you've had some tough things, tough month, whatever, and that makes us so film the rock around your heart. You gotta smash that evilness in honesty and transparency and just being vulnerable with people. And you know what? If they're gonna judge you, then let them judge you, because no one can, okay? Unless and a judgment is not valid unless you accept it and receive it. So when it gets to this, guys, just be you, be yourself, and practice being you every single day, okay? And if you feel that you've been phony in some areas of your life, then that's a great area for you to start growing in and exploring. What would you like if you were free in that area to express it? So outside of that, I don't think I got anything else for you guys.
Whoo! Shane, that was fire, bro. Thank you so much for sharing that. I took some notes. I love it. I hope you guys got a ton of value. But there's a question for you. Feely Brooks says, how do you know what they value in you? I think when you were talking about serving people, and how do you know what they value in you?
Well, how do I know what people will value in me? If you're showing value and just giving value, people will tend to just value that, right? Like if you're giving love, if you're caring, people care about being cared about. People really want to be cared about. They don't care what you know until they know that you care. Yeah. And so show them that you care. That's it. There's nothing more than that. Just love people. They'll love you back.
Just love people, and that's what we're about to do. I'm going to bring it back to gallery view because tonight was fire. We're going to start with Cassie. Cassie, please give us your favorite part and then tell us who you voted for.
It was all my favorite. No. So there were my favorites on both of you. With Aaron, I loved when you said, do you want to serve others or do you want to serve your comfort zone? Because that's a question that I've asked myself, but I didn't realize that was the question, if that makes sense. So that really hit me. And then the other one that Shane said was, where you are now is not who you are. So because of that, I voted for Shane. Because I'm struggling with that, because I am very new still in this business as far as how far I've gotten, I guess. Because I don't have the time freedom that I know that I want and I need. And I have to do a lot more of like in depth with that sentence. That just really hit home for me. So Shane gets my vote.
All right. Shane gets one. I'm going to go to Miss Mary Carter.
Yeah, this is a really tough one. I really liked, one thing that I loved about Aaron's was talking about the return on authenticity. I thought that was really unique, and I'm just like a huge like numbers person, and so just like think about return in a different way is interesting. And then also, so I ended up voting for Shane because what hit me the most is talking about like where you were versus where you are versus where you're going, and really just being authentic in that whole journey and just speaking that to people, not really just focusing on that like where you want to be and telling people and pretending that that's your present, to just really show them all of who you are. So I really love that.
Awesome. Shane gets 2. Chris Baden, the idea guy. What's your favorite part, and who'd you vote for? Ooh, the poll's close. I love this. Ooh, it's suspenseful.
I was watching. I was like, woo. Yes, very close. Tonight, my vote is gonna go to Aaron, and Shane. Like what I wrote down for you, man. I said, "Be real, don't be poo." The manure. I like the examples and being real and remembering, just to be yourself, and so that part was really good. But for Aaron, I think I mentioned the opportunities for more conversation, being curious, just keep connecting with people, and then sharing your struggle is where loyalty will be built. That one was a cool thought. So that's my vote for tonight.
Awesome. I'm going to go next. I also voted for Aaron tonight. That ties it up on the panelists, except for them. Yeah, we're going to have them vote in a second. My favorite part from Aaron said, choose the area of your life you want to change the most and speak to those who want to change the same thing. I think that's so simple. It's like just great recipe for awesomeness. And Aaron, I think that's awesome, dude. I appreciate Shane, you always tell killer stories, and dude, you just like there's something about you guys. I love having you out here. Let's go over to Shane now. What was your favorite part? Who do you vote for? You can vote for yourself.
I liked all of it, to be honest. Aaron and I are always jamming out stuff like this. This is cool. I love the fact that you just popped it on us and we're doing the same subject. So, this is sort of how we roll anyways. I'm going to vote for me, though, and I love you, Aaron, but I need all the help I can get. I'm going to do it. Let's go, baby. I'm just being me. I'm loving me, too. I love you, too, bro, but, I'm going to give myself a vote.
Awesome.
Aaron was threw it down. I loved everything you were saying, bro.
Awesome, and let's go to Aaron. What's up?
It's funny because when I watched Shane's presentation, it was like we were doing it together anyway. We pass it back and forth like that all the time and stuff. So it's tough to vote, because we're sharing the same message. We're heads of the same team. But I did see that Shane played the Chihuahua card. So I'm gonna have to introduce you guys to Dixie tonight. And so because I can't choose Shane and I do need to vote for my Chihuahua, which means I voted for me tonight because I voted for Dixie. So
that is a split draw with the panelists. Chris, come over to the. Oh my gosh, it's tight, Chris.
The thing that I noticed is Dixie's missing his sweater, his doggy sweater.
She was. It's 106 degrees here, so
that's okay. So that works. Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, drum roll. The votes are in. The votes are being casted. And 106 is a good excuse. I agree.
Woo! Congratulations, Mr. Aaron Ellis. This is the 6th title, bro. You have taken the 6-peat. On your way, you are now standing alone in 2nd place of all times for Train or Die. The record is 11 wins. So you got a little ways to go. But as we always do at the end of the show, guys, we have next week, we have guest speaker Jamie Cross going to be in town. She has built herself a tremendous business. She's another one of our Inner Circle fam from ClickFunnels. She's going to be out here to share her story. You're not going to want to miss it. She's built several multi-7-figure businesses. Just a great perspective on how to do things. And but for now, let's come on over and let Aaron say some great words, and let's kick this thing out of here. Aaron, congratulations on the new championship.
1001. 1,002. He's getting a deep burn over there in those bicep curls.
You know, Aaron, I'm training, bro. I'm gonna come for you, homie. It's coming. It's time, bro.
Well, I think if I could leave everybody with one thing, it would be a combination of what Shane and I said. It's just be yourself, guys. And that question that Faye asked, or Felly asked, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, about how do you know what people will value in you? Well, guys, it comes down to what do you value in yourself. And a lot of times people don't want to share that. When you share what you value in yourself, you will attract others that value the same things. And then you will have people that you'll enjoy working with. Okay, so that's a good thing. So just be yourself. That's it. There's nothing more to say than that. Everything that Shane and I both spoke about is 100% about being yourself.
And that's going to bring it to an end tonight, guys. I hope you guys had a wonderful show. So much value. Thank you, guys. We will see you next week. Same time, same channel. Aaron will be back to defend his title. All right. We'll catch you guys later. Have a great night.